We begin tonight with devastating news from Myanmar and Thailand. 6 powerful earthquakes have shaken the region to its core today. A 7.7 magnitude quake hit Myanmar near its second largest city of Mandalay. The epicenter was about 17 kilometers from Mandalay, which has a population of about 1.5 million. As of now, more than 140 people have died in Myanmar from the earthquake. It was the largest quake to hit Myanmar since 1946 and likely the strongest in modern times. The last time there was a quake on land of such magnitude was in 2023, and that happened in Turkey, which killed more than 50,000 people. The officials are now racing for what could be a catastrophic toll, potentially reaching into the hundreds across the region. Reports are emerging of lives lost in a mosque in Mandalay that collapsed during prayers and at a college where fire broke out amidst the chaos.
Wait, shit! The whole building collapsed.
A strong aftershock of 6.4 magnitude also struck Myanmar. The death toll is expected to rise with Myanmar's ruling military declaring a state of emergency. In Myanmar capital of Naypyidaw, a 1,000-bed hospital has now become a mass casualty area. And that's according to news agency AFP.
I felt that we need to leave and be in the open to be safe. Everybody started running like we all knew what to do by instinct, go outside. Earthquakes seem like a new issue for Thais, but everyone seems to know the first thing to do is to leave the building and go outside in the open.
I was checking a message on my mobile phone. I was in my lazy boy and all of a sudden it moved back and forth and then it toppled over and I hit my head on the table, but it didn't leave a mark and I didn't break the glass table either. This is not the first time that the building has felt an earthquake. In 2004, when the tsunami and the earthquake happened in Sumatra, the building shook immensely for almost 30 minutes, and then it had cracks in the walls, but never like this before.
Tremors were also felt in northern Thailand, where metro and rail services were temporarily suspended. The powerful quake triggered the collapse of buildings in Thailand's capital. At least 3 people have died in the nation's capital, and officials are racing to free 81 people believed to be trapped under the rubble. And that is of an under-construction high-rise in the city. One particularly horrifying video reveals a 30-floor under-construction skyscraper in Bangkok's Chatachok neighborhood collapsed, trapping over 80 workers inside. Police officers reported hearing cries for help. Thailand's Prime Minister sought to assure the public over the safety of the capital's high-rise buildings following the collapse of the high-rise building.
Buildings in Bangkok are constructed beyond the standard. Even if the earthquake had been stronger, they would still be able to withstand it. Right now, inspections show that all buildings are safe to return to. The only affected structures are those under construction, which have issues with stability and walls.
Terrifying videos are emerging online as well. Footage from Bangkok shows buildings swing violently as residents flee to the streets in panic. Meanwhile, in Myanmar, as rescue teams mobilize, they are facing a daunting challenge amidst reports of collapsed buildings and damaged infrastructure, especially in the Mandalay region. Well, we are getting tragic visuals from a hospital overwhelmed with casualties. It's a reminder that the devastation is still unfolding. Rescue operations are currently underway, but with severely compromised roads between Mandalay and Yangon, efforts to supply aid are hampered. Remember, Myanmar is one of Asia's poorest countries. It is currently reeling from a civil war sparked by a military coup in 2021. Weak infrastructure makes it ill-equipped to deal with such major natural disasters. Plus, several parts of the country are still run by a patchwork of militias, making it difficult to gather reliable information. The tremors stretched as far as China's Yunnan province, where reports indicate a magnitude of 7.9. Fortunately, there have been no fatalities reported from China. However, mild tremors have also been felt in India's Kolkata and Manipur, along with reports from Dhaka and Chattogram in Bangladesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed condolences and stated that India stands ready to provide any required assistance, while leaders from Europe have also offered support. Which brings us to the main question: what caused the earthquake? Well, according to the United States Geological Survey, the Myanmar quake occurred as a result of what is called strike-slip faulting. That's a phenomenon for the earthquake which just took place between India and the Eurasia plates. Simply put, it means that these two tectonic plates rubbed sideways against each other. The quake happened on the Sagang Fault. It marks the tectonic plate boundary between the Indian plate to the west and the Eurasian plate to the east. The Indian plate is moving north along the fault compared to the Eurasian plate. Now, the USGS says that this region has experienced several similar large strike-slip earthquakes in the past as well, with 6 happening within about 250 kilometers of the current earthquake. Now, since 1900, that were magnitude 7 or even greater. So could this have been predicted? The simple answer is no. But the history of earthquakes in Myanmar could serve as a haunting backdrop to this disaster. Now, from 1930 to 1956, the Sagang Fault has been the site of various quakes, which shows this region's vulnerability. And as rescue efforts continue, it's going to take us a while before we fully understand the scale of Friday's quake damage. For now, WION is keeping a close eye on information as it trickles in.